It's time for another meal prep. This time there's a couple of things that have kind of spurred this along. So the first is that we are going to Paris on Monday for my birthday. So I want to use up everything that, like carrots and things like that, that will not survive. We're only going for 2.5 days, but even still, you don't want these things to go off in your fridge while you're away. And the second thing is, it's that time of year again where we are picking up strays. This time it's my friend Hal, who I will say hello to if he's watching. And he's come to live with us, I don't know how long for, but he is here with us now. So this means that, I don't want to leave the kitchen in a mess. So I want to make sure that the dishes are done and that it's easy cleanup, because I hate cleaning up. So this is an easy cleanup meal prep, mainly because we've got someone else in the house and I want to spend my time doing other things rather than keeping things clean for him. So what I'm starting off with here is like a build your own Buddha bowl. So I'm just roasting off a load of veg together, and I'm gonna keep it separately in the fridge, so then that way I'll probably have this before I go to work, so I can just chuck it in a bowl at home. Leo will have this when he gets home from work, so again he can just chuck it in a bowl. It doesn't need to be pre-portioned, it can just be kind of grab what you want, chuck it in a bowl, and away you go. So I've got carrot, which I'm going to roast with cumin. I've got sweet potato that I'm going to roast with coriander seed, and I've got broccoli, which I'm roasting with salt, pepper and lemon. Now you can see here I'm using the stalk as well. What I'm doing is removing the tough skin and just chopping it up into kind of manageable sized chunks. So all of this should cook around the same amount of time. And I've also got a red pepper sitting there. I'm not going to chop that up. I'm going to put that on there whole so that it can roast, and then I can remove the skin later. So this is the most time consuming and messiest part of the entire thing. I'm spraying the veg with a little bit of oil, mainly just to get the spices to stick. That's about all there is to this, because by the time I've got to this bit, they're not as wet as they were. So yeah, salt, pepper, spices, and that goes into the oven. There you go. Next up, while that is cooking, I'm going to cook some pasta. So I've got 5 handfuls of pasta, so it's about a handful to a portion, which always comes out a little bit small, but you can always bulk it out with something else. That's now boiling, and I'm prepping some green beans. So I'm just topping and tailing them to get rid of the kind of little pointy end and the dry bit where it's been previously cut. And by the time this has all been done, and everything else has been kind of prepped, the pasta will be cooked enough so that I can put the green beans in. So this is what's going with the pasta. It's kind of a Niçoise-style salad, which, is traditionally tuna and egg. When I say kinda style, as in I'm not making something egg related to go with it, because that causes more mess. I'm just doing the kind of fish-ish part, the olives and the green beans. So this is some wakame seaweed that I'm just chopping up finely. I used way too much of it there to soak, so I'm just using that little bit there. I've got some heart of palm. Normally I would use, what was it that I used? Banana blossoms. That's what I used last time. I haven't tried heart of palm before, but this actually works really, really well. It's really tasty. So yeah, by the time I got to this point, my pasta was cooked enough just to chuck my green beans in, because you only want them in for a minute or two just to get soft. So I've got that. I'm seasoning it with lemon and a little bit of soy sauce, and I was going to leave it at that, in all honesty, but then I remembered in the fridge I have my first attempt at doing carrot lox, and oh my god, it went so wrong, because it's horrifically, offensively salty. You just can't eat it. So I've just taken a little bit, chopped it up and put it in there to season it, and it actually works really, really well. So obviously that part is optional, because that's my mess up there, but I put it in there so it's not going to waste, because I hate wasting food. Now, what I'm doing is I'm picking out the green beans because I want it to look pretty, so I can put a little bit in each one. But if you're doing this yourself, you don't have to do that. Just chuck it all in the tubs. So you got your pasta, which I've run under the cold tap just to make sure it's cold for boxing it up. I've got the green beans, and then I have my kind of fish-ish mix there that's going in, and then olives. Now again, I think it's traditionally with black olives, but I've only got green, so I'm going to use green. I prefer green. And I'm just taking them out, giving them a squeeze to get the brine out, and then just ripping them in half and chucking a few of them in each of the tubs. Now when I was finished with this, it didn't look like it had enough food in it, so I've got some bits that I'm going to add to the Buddha bowls later, so I might end up adding some of that to the lunches just to make sure, one, nothing goes to waste, and two, you know, it's bulked out a little bit more. Now the first thing I'm doing is peeling this pepper. There's a load of water inside it, and I don't want to like waste that because it does taste of pepper. It's got a nice flavour to it, so I'm trying to peel this while it's hot, which you can see I'm doing a great job with the tongs, so just kind of give up in the end and get in there with my fingers, but watch out because it is hot. You can do it with the skin on, you could do it raw. I just thought this would be nice. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the skin off, and then I'm going to mince it up so it's like super fine, and I'm going to mix it with the sweet potato just so it's a little bit different, and also it uses up that pepper so it doesn't go in the bin. It doesn't kind of get wasted while we're away. So yeah, chop that up super fine, and it's already got the salt and pepper and everything in the sweet potato, so that'll be lovely. What else have I got? Basically, I'm just boxing all this up so you can help yourself. This is enough for 5 portions, which is for me and Leo over the weekend. So while I do say it's a 5-day prep, there's enough food for 5 days, but it doesn't actually last us 5 days. It does me 2 lunches and 2 dinners, and then I'll pick like one of them to have for lunch on Sunday, and then Leo again has 2 lunches, 2 dinners, and he has like the opposite for lunch on the Sunday. So one of us will have like the Buddha bowl, and one of us will have the salad, so whichever one we prefer. Now breakfast. Yes, it's bananas again. I always seem to have bananas. I don't know why. I buy them and they just sit there. So this week I'm having almond and banana smoothies for breakfast. Simple, easy, both of us like it, so you know, that is breakfast sorted. That's the lunch. As you can see, it is a little bit low, so what I'm going to do, there's the red cabbage just coming into shot there. I'm just going to shred that up and put some of that in there as well, because again, that's a lot of cabbage to use just in the Buddha bowl, so yeah, I'll use it in that. Also, to go with the Buddha bowls, I'm going to have a little bit of tahini to drizzle on top, some white asparagus, because I love white asparagus, chili beans, and we've also got some hot and spicy bean curd. So yeah, loads of food for the next few days.